Hello everyone, welcome to the parish of Ballymacaldrick near Dunloy in County Antrim. So what we have here is Dewey's Cairn. "5,000-year-old Neolithic court tomb." This is the courtyard, or the court. Sometimes called a horned tomb as well. You see it from this other angle. Well, seeing it from above really. This is goes into a oval shape. Would have been all covered in cairn material with the open passage, and then the two horns would have come right round to here with the curbstones, and all cairn material in here too to raise up the whole level. One of the unique features is its alignment. It's northeast to southwest. As you can see, the sun's just setting behind the mountain at the minute. That's a long mountain up there. Possibly a winter solstice sunset significance, but it's unlikely considering the topography of the area, the site. Like a lot of court tombs, this one's tucked away in a wee hollow. Solar alignments and light shafts going into the passage don't seem to be a priority here. So what other reasons could there be for southwesterly alignment? Why don't you take a raven's eye view, and while you're doing that I'll get set up with my wee experiment here. I'll see you soon. So here we are, high above Dewey's Cairn. Let's travel in a southwesterly direction. As you can see here, north-south is pretty much straight up and down, so we travel at a 45-degree angle. See what we can find in the southwest. It might possibly be linked to the alignment of Dewey's Cairn. If you try and ignore this ugly modern quarry, we come to Loch Naroon. With a Loch of Secrets. And I'm sure there is many secrets hidden around this area. The loch looks a lot smaller now than it possibly did in the past, as you can see the outline there. This would have been considered sacred to the Neolithic people and probably all the pre-Christian peoples of this area for thousands of years. Water, especially in a location like this. If we just scroll back out again, this whole area is known as the Long Mountain. So the loch is actually on top of the Long Mountain, where the earth meets the sky. Definitely be seen as a portal to the other world which exists under the earth. Also, many different water spirits and deities would have been worshipped by people from the Neolithic up through the Bronze Age and into the Iron Age and early medieval, no doubt. This area is potentially rich in archaeological finds, votive offerings that would have been placed in this loch over the thousands of years that people inhabited this area and considered it sacred. Could even be a link with the ancient earth goddess Danu. She was the goddess of the land and of the waters of life. So if I was an archaeologist, I'd be trying to get permissions in order to at least survey this area, or maybe put in a couple of test trenches. Could be a career defining finds in there, but maybe someone will catch on to it one day. I'll just bring you over this direction to show you some other examples of history in the area. There's another couple of tombs there, just in the northeast side of the mountain. Not much left of this one. Would have been a passage tomb at one time. It's just a skeleton of a chamber now. Nice big capstone. An interesting cut there. I think I read somewhere that this stone had fallen over and the capstone was just roughly propped up against it again, but this cut here to me looks like it should be joined up with this corner, if you know what I mean. Rotate that 90 degrees. That'll be in your two nice portal stones then. That's a shame. Just across from it, the broad stone, the broad capstone. This is another court tomb. Have to excuse the Jack Russell here. I didn't take the photos, they're on Google Earth. The broad stone referring to the slab at the top actually. Looks like. It's hard to get an idea of the layout of it without seeing it from the air. Very interesting though. I think I'll visit that one for a future episode. Looks like a nice location. Some fairy thorns all around it. That's a nice one there. Here you can see some Iron Age ring forts or raths. Always intriguing magical looking. Called fairy forts as well for obvious reasons, but roughly 50 or 60,000 of those all over Ireland. I've no doubt there's many more around the mountain that have been lost. But yeah, potentially some nice archaeology in there from votive offerings, stone axes, swords, knives, jewellery. Could be all sorts. Just 10 miles to the north actually, roughly, in this kind of area. They discovered 4 beautiful Bronze Age horns. They were in boggy ground, which turned out used to be a small loch, like the same as Loch Naroon, which had sort of half dried out. And if we go to further up the northwest, this is Loch Foyle, Sea Loch, and this area here is where the Browter Hoard was discovered. Absolutely astonishing find. An offering to the sea god Manannan Mac Lir. So potentially could be treasures. It is called the Loch of Secrets after all. Let's keep going southwesterly then. See where that takes us. I think you'll be surprised. Yeah. Carramore, County Sligo. This is the central cairn in Carramore called Listochel. If you've seen my video on Carramore, you'll know kind of what I'm talking about there, or maybe you're already familiar with it, but all these other burial tombs and mounds, etc., are all orientated towards this central cairn. This includes cairns on a lot of the mountain tops in the area. They all point inward towards this place here. So my theory is potentially these people at Dunlow, Dewey's Cairn, migrated northeast from Sligo area. Obviously bring their belief system with them, so if all their ancestors orientated their tombs towards this central cairn, makes sense that these people, when they move away, would do the same thing and orientate their family tomb back towards Sligo. It's a fairly accurate alignment if that is the case. I just thought that was interesting. This is amazing. They've just set up the courts. This is amazing. They've just set up the courts with some incense. Just hadn't finished setting it up. EMF meters spiking already. Of course, it's not doing it right now. Hopefully my little full spectrum camera can pick that up. There's a quick spike there, up to 0.2. Another one up to 3. Oh, I can't see. Another one. This would be. Thank you, spirits. Wow. That's a pretty amazing start. That's still going there. Just need the REM pod to go off now and that'll be the icing on the cake. I'll let that run for a while anyway, while I'm talking to you. Unfortunately, someone's got a dirt bike for Christmas. I just decided to get it out to play. But I'll have to plough on. Sorry about the audio. The most unique feature about this cairn is its design and its purpose. And the southwesterly alignment will become clear when I show you what I'm talking about here. So you have the court. The size of that stone there, awesome. This is your portal. 2 portal stones. I'm not sure what height it would have been originally. Possibly a lintel on those 2. But this is the chamber at the front. This area here. Quite a small chamber. We definitely had to crawl in there to gain access. Through the back. These 2 stones are like exit stones, and this is what's called the cremation passage, which would have been open to the sky. The whole cairn is designed as a cremation device with a built-in chamber for burial goods and offerings. And at the back we had a large pit. There was 3 pits in all. The one at the very back where I have my experiment set up, they found the cremated remains of 6 adults, men and women. So what actually happened? Let me step up here on top. The cairn would have had a flat top. Obviously a lot of cairn rocks filling in all around to the edge of the curb there. But from here to here, I'm trying to imagine it a little bit taller, maybe 3 foot taller, giving you a tunnel which was originally lined with boulders along the edges and had a flagged floor, say with the 3 pits. So cremations actually took place over this trench. Okay, that's a unique feature. It's found nowhere else in Ireland. I think there's a few examples in Scotland and north of England. But imagine the chamber would have had a lid on there but the cremations would have taken place here. Here's a rough diagram to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is the sacred chamber. We'd have had capstones going across to cover that in, and when it was excavated they found some flint arrowheads, and they found some nice stone beads excuse me, and a few pottery shards, possibly from offerings and whatnot. So the precious offerings and goods were here, and the bones were placed in the far end in the pit. It was bones and charcoal. So after the cremation, we just clean it up all into the pit at the back. But the other nice thing was when the tomb was sealed for the last time, it was in use for about 500 years. But when it was sealed, there was 2 polished stone axe heads buried just inside the portal stones there. It said these are the magic guardians, placed there in some sort of magic spell to protect the cairn from raiders, I suppose. It's all pretty amazing. The bones were dated to around 3000 BC, the earliest ones, and I think the tomb was in use for around 500 years before it was sealed and the magic spell put on the door. So 6 people in 500 years cremated here. You know, that's very few really when you think about it. So it must have been for special high status people, I guess. So just to get back to the southwesterly alignment regarding the cremation device, the prevailing winds here in Ireland are southwesterly. So what happened is the court helped funnel the air wind's coming this way. Court funnel the air through the portal stones. Remember, this is covered over, so through the chamber, out the back, and right under the funeral pyre. Of course, you need a very high temperature to properly cremate a body, and this would have worked something like a blacksmith's forge, with the wind coming in under pressure under the fire, providing a lot of oxygen and giving a really hot flame. It's quite ingenious really, and all in one neat little package. Incredible really when you think about it. Being the only one in Ireland. Possibly these people came over from Scotland, England, what is now Scotland, England, migrated west from there and brought this idea with them. Definitely a beautiful sight. Switched off. I'll go and get a new battery for this, and the moon's due up in 20 minutes. It's a full oak moon rising today. this evening. Be over that direction somewhere. Weather permitting, of course. I think there's still some snow showers about there. Hope for the best. We'll see what happens. That's me back again with fresh batteries. Oh my gosh. Should I turn the light on or not? Maybe. That's me. I just hope that wee camera can see that. I'm not sure. That's me again. Well, hope for the best. There's me. Star tracker up. See the moon. It's just on the horizon. It's quite a handy thing. It's going to be that direction. But unfortunately it's very cloudy, so I'll start my time lapse and I'll show you what I get here. Oh, I just had to come back to this because I'm getting large EMF spikes. It's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Oh, I can't get you near it with this tripod. Check it out. Can you see it? It's going mad. That's fantastic. Blessed be. Thank you, spirits. Thank you. Got my brolly out. Looks like it's going to snow again. But that's fantastic. Really good EMF readings. Still going. Had to give up on my time lapse, guys. As you can see, weather's closing in again, so I think that'll have to do me for today. I'll get my cameras and stuff wet, so I'm pleased with the experiment. Nothing from the REM pod. I moved it up between to the chamber area, but there's nothing happening there. It is what it is. It's getting cold, it's getting dark. I'm going to head home. So thanks for watching. Stay safe. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.